Hey there. So I wanted to do a quick video because I have gotten so many messages from people ever since I posted that I was going to be donating surgical masks. So the first pattern I ever used was the Joanne pattern, and I shared that. In the last 2 weeks, the hospitals have kind of changed what they would like you to be using. You can still use the other. I just think a lot of doctors want this more efficient one. They can put a filter in it, and it's a little more adjustable to their face and for each person that's wearing it. So if you are feeling like tackling another mask, this is the one that I would try. I will post, when I put this on my blog later, I will post the link to whoever created this so that you can print out your pattern pieces. It is so easy. I was a little worried because I don't usually work from patterns. I'm better at just creating from my head, but this was a piece of cake. The worst part is you do have to cut out 6 pieces per mask. So that's a little time consuming. Once that's done, it moves really quickly, and it's actually, I mean, we're talking maybe 5 minutes to sew. One quick pointer that I want to give you, just because my entire job is sewing in bulk and having to do things that are like moving quickly and efficiently throughout the day. Take your fabric, fold it in half so that when you're laying these out, every single piece you're cutting 2 of, for starters. Second of all, the best thing to do if you want to do, let's say you want to do 20 masks, cut all 20 pieces in the very beginning. Turn on a show, sit on the floor, pin them, cut them, get them done, get all your scraps thrown away, take a break, get something to eat, walk away from the entire thing, and then come back to it. That makes the sewing so much faster, quicker. You feel organized. You don't feel as overwhelmed. I have to say, cutting is my most hated part. So for me, I'm always like, get that out of the way. So as soon as that is finished, what I did to make everything a little easier and more organized, because I am going to be doing so many masks, I put each piece into baggies. So I have a whole pile of mouth 2, mouth 1, face 2. You basically get the message. All 6 pieces are in these baggies. That way, when it comes time to sew, I just reach in, grab my 6 pieces out, and get started. So there is my quick pointer on how to work a little more efficiently. I know it sounds basic and easy and everyone should know how to do it, but sometimes when you haven't done this sort of thing, these are just those little things that I think help, that I've learned over time. So we're going to get started. The first thing you're going to do, you're going to dip into your baggies and you're going to grab your face 1 and your face 2. You're going to lay them out and you're going to put them right sides together. Right sides together means the pretty pieces of the fabric together. You want to stitch on the ugly side, the faded side. So you're going to put them together. You're going to sew a 1/4 inch little straight stitch on this rounded edge right here. As soon as you've done that, this is what it will look like. I'm going to hold it up nice and close. You're going to have your little stitch like that. If you go to turn it inside out, you can start to see the face mask and the shape starting to form. You can see how it's going to fit onto your mouth. So that one is done. You're going to set it aside. Now, you're going to take your mouth 1 and mouth 2 and your cheek 1 and cheek 2, and you're going to take them over to the ironing board. You're going to, on the side that isn't curved of the mouth, you're going to fold up a little 1/4 inch edge, take it over, stitch a straight seam on it. Do the same thing here, stitch a straight seam on it. Then you're going to go to your cheek 1 and cheek 2. Do the same thing, stitch it shut. This is to secure so that it will not fray when they are wearing them and when they're going in and out of the washing machine. So as soon as that is finished, take your mouth 1, your mouth 2, do right sides together, do the exact same thing you did on face 1 and face 2. You're going to stitch a tiny little 1/4 inch edge, and this is what it's going to look like. And you can see I've got my folded edges there, and I've got my stitch edged there. So when I go to turn it inside out, I'm once again forming the mask. So now here's where it got a little tricky when I was reading the directions. I don't know why it's not tricky, but reading the directions and seeing it are 2 totally different things. We are going to form a pocket on the mouth with the cheek pieces. So you're going to turn your mouthpiece so that the ugly side is out. Take your cheek. On the cheek pattern, there is a little line. You will want to make sure you mark that. As time goes on, you're going to start to just visually know how to do it, but mark it the first few times so that you know how to do it. So I took a marker so you'd be able to see a little bit better. I just did a quick little drawing. I didn't do it straight. You're going to lay your piece right on top of there so that you have wrong sides up staring at you and the right side is laying over it. It basically is going to shimmy kind of right into that spot anyway. You're laying it right on there. You're matching the line up with the edge of that folded fabric. And you're going to clip it. I'm hoping this makes sense to you because I don't know why it didn't make sense to me the first time. You're going to clip your fabric and you are going to sew right there and right there. You are not sewing across, which is what you think you want to do. That is what the pocket is. So that has to be your opening. So as soon as you've done that, this is what it's going to look like. You can see my little stitching line and you can see my little stitching line. And so basically my hands are going into the pocket. That is where doctors or yourself are going to put a filter, and we'll talk about filters later. So you've got that done. You've got your mouth and cheek sewn together and you've got your face over here. We're pretty much finishing up the whole project. Can you see how easy it is? So you're gonna go right sides together, lay it out nicely, and you're going to start pinning all the way around the entire thing. Now, one quick thing I noticed, because at first I got kind of thrown off. I think there's a little, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch difference on the pattern. I don't know if it's a mistake or what, but when you go to line everything up, you're gonna somehow end up not matching up on the edges. Don't worry about it. Just do your 1/4 inch inseam on the shorter one. The mask fits perfect, so I don't know if it was just a little mistake on how far they put the cheek pieces in. If you adjust your cheek pieces, you can probably get it just perfect. So you're gonna pin all the way around and then you're gonna sew around the entire thing. This is what it will look like when it's sewn around. Ooh, sorry, I forgot to have that turned inside out. Basically, sorry about that. It's going to look like that, sewn all the way around. Then you're going to reach into the little pocket and you're going to start turning it all the way right side out. And what you want to do is kind of with your fingers, and you can use an ironing board if you want to, but you don't need to. You know, this isn't like a sewing competition for anybody. I think the biggest thing is to get these out and have them just stitched well, but they don't have to look totally perfect. And they're going to be washing them again anyways, so if they are a little bit wrinkly, that's okay. When you have that finished, your final step is to take your sewing machine and sew that 1/4 inch edge all the way around. This will seal in any possibility of anything fraying, and there you have your mask. And I'm going to try to kind of, I'll get a photo of it, but basically it's going to fit like that. Now, if you're making them for the hospital said they are going to be supplying the binders for the, to go around the ears. So they said they just want you to send this piece to them. Then they're going to take hair binders and they're going to put a safety pin on and fold over that piece. And this way the doctors can make it adjustable for themselves to wear over their ears. If you're doing them for yourself, I would recommend going to pick up a pack of binders and some safety pins. The other thing that the doctors are also going to be doing, so these are just good things to know for yourself, they're going to be taking pipe cleaners. You can cut it to size that you want. They're going to slip it through the little pocket and just kind of get it to however they want it to be so that they can start to bend it around their nose. Then they are also going one step further, and they're buying an adhesive two-sided tape, and they're going to tape along the edges so that when they put it onto their face, they can completely seal it shut. So if you are making them for the hospital, you're just making this. If you're making it for yourself, any of these things are what you're going to want to have. And I have to research filters if you're doing them alone, but I thought I read that even throwing a coffee filter in there will help. I'm not sure what the hospitals are using. They can probably buy filters in bulk from somewhere. Anyway, I hope I helped. Please message me. Let me know if you do make this mask. It is so fast and so easy. I actually think I'm going to start wearing a mask. I have it. I'm going to start wearing it. I just to be on the extra safe side, I really don't want to catch this virus. So anyway, good luck to all of you. Stay safe and have fun. And you might make mistakes, but this one's pretty straightforward. So enjoy.